Hello and welcome to Delta Sparks Pod, episode 27. Question mark? I'm Ron Burgundy. As always, I am Evan. This is Andie's Supreme Cakes Pop Pop Pop, aka
Pop, 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 pop.
Andrea. So what's up, dude?
I think you've called me that like twice in our like the history of our relationship. You've called me by my full first name.
Isn't that what Adam calls you, Andrea?
It is, yeah. It is what he calls me.
Really weird. No one calls me Evan.
Really?
Well,
Everybody calls you Ev?
Or like my family and friends. Or yeah. It's DB for short.
DB Cooper.
DB Cooper. I found the gold. It's in your butthole.
Speaking of gold,
that's an odd cave.
No. Have you been watching much of the Olympics?
I have. I don't tell
me just women's beach volleyball. Tell
only
me
men's.
Only
men's. Well, I've been actually watching all the volleyball. I'm a big volleyball fan.
Yeah, you are a big you play too, right?
I play. We just finished our season last night, beach volleyball here at the lake. But don't mind my knee. I got my feet up today. I'm relaxing. Yeah. But we're gonna start doing like a pickup game night twice a week, and hopefully turn that into like a 4-on-4 or 3-on-3 league.
Oh, that's fun.
But I love volleyball. I'm also like 6'4", so
yeah,
I'm not amazing at it. I won't lie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm really rusty. I played in high school, and I won't lie, I wasn't the best in high school.
Yeah,
everyone's like, look at this dude. It's like fucking Big Bird got shaved. He should do awesome.
Shouldn't you be better because you're so tall?
Yes.
Well, for me playing volleyball, I went
back row.
I played in grade 9. Well, I played in grade 9.
What do you call that? What do you call that in Canada?
Grade 9.
We call it freshman.
So
when
it comes to like high school sports, we had juniors and seniors, but juniors were grade 9 and 10, and seniors were 11 and 12.
Okay, so we had.
It was only as pertaining to sports.
We had junior varsity and varsity.
Yeah,
but there was no age restriction.
Right, like if you were good enough, you could play with. What did you say?
Right.
Varsity.
Okay. Varsity, and vice versa. If you're a senior and you suck,
yeah,
you get to play with the wee ones.
Oh,
funny story.
Yeah, I don't think if you were a senior for us, you could have played junior, but I think if you were good enough on junior, you could have gone up. I'm not sure.
Okay.
And like, I know a big part of it was for like football when like grade 9 versus grade 12, like there's some like real big size differences. So
big old hairy differences.
Mm-hmm.
Funny story. High school, I think it was my junior year, volleyball. We got new uniforms.
Okay.
And they sent the correct shirt sizes, like like we no sleeves,
like bibs or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, jerseys, whatever.
Yeah.
Guinea tees, if you will.
Oh, never heard that.
You never heard guinea tee?
No.
Must be an American thing. Tank top.
That one I've heard.
A tank.
Yes.
Of tops, but they sent us the male sizes for the tank tops, but they sent us women's sizes for the shorts.
Oh, I bet that was cute.
Just picture this. I'm 6'4". I have long curly Jew hair. Down to my shoulders. So does more than half of our team, by the way.
Yeah,
we were all just a bunch of
we're all like
a bunch of like stoner curly haired Jews. And skin like skinny as a rail.
Yeah.
Just elbows and knees and nuts.
That's typically what I think of when I think of volleyball. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And we come out for the first game with the new uniforms, and our coaches are just like, because I mean, like just below the balls. I don't even mean now. I mean back then when they were youthful.
It was 70s basketball uniforms.
Exactly. Yeah. And our coach was like, don't worry, guys, we'll get new shorts for the rest of the season. We were like, don't bother. Because nothing says intimidation like stretching pregame and letting the other team see your old coin purse.
I've never tried that one. I'm not sure
I
will.
You don't have a coin purse.
No.
Not that we know.
And I'm going to keep it that way.
So Olympics. Yeah, I watched the Olympics. So for school, I start school at like 7, so I've been getting up at 6:30 when the live coverage starts. Well, I mean, there's live coverage throughout
depending
the day,
what you want to watch, right? Yeah.
but I bought YouTube TV for a month because we don't have cable, just so I could watch the Olympics because I love them.
That's nice. Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. It's been an interesting Olympics, I should say that.
Has it ever? So
I mean, the Canadian women soccer.
I was hoping you'd bring that up.
I mean,
U.S. women.
Let's be honest. It was an asterisk because your girl took a fake ass fall.
Oh my!
Played it up.
Were you even watching?
Like an English soccer hooligan. Like, oh my god!
The leg was kicked out from under her. What do you want from her?
She acted like the woman I hit with my car a couple of years ago. I barely tapped her, and she went down. And 20 seconds later, kicked her leg off and kicked her shoe off. Like, come on.
Yeah, that was an exciting game. I actually got up at 4 a.m. I think to watch that live, and that was stressful to watch, but exciting. And your US ladies just won bronze this morning, which is exciting. They beat Australia. Take that, Kim.
Yeah, take that, Kim. Down under.
But yeah, so I've also been watching some gymnastics because you've got your Simone Biles, which is very exciting. She's incredible.
Yeah, so there's been a lot of controversy around that. And all I have to say is there's a reason they didn't call it gymnastics, okay?
Say that again. You broke up.
There's a reason they don't call it gymnastics.
That's true.
It's gymnastics for a reason. I'm stealing that from a gymnastics movie. Yeah, when I was watching the women's all around, when Simone Biles took her first attempt, I guess, at the thing where you hit the thing that springs.
Yeah. The
vault.
Okay.
A vault.
No, do women even do pommel horse?
No, that's a men's thing only.
Okay.
The idea of the pommel horse is to not let your balls hit the pommel horse.
That's like the criteria.
Yes, that's the criteria. That's why they keep themselves off of it.
Yeah, that's like good criteria and good life advice, really.
Yeah. Protect the coin purse. But yeah, I saw her take the first attempt, and then they were like, she's done. Like, she's pulling herself out of the thing, and there was all that controversy. Like, did she hurt herself? And honestly, I remember seeing an interview right before that, like through the coverage, maybe it was that day or the day before, where she was talking about all of her mental health struggles with the pressure that she felt was on her.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a video just today, and it was, I don't remember if it was on her account or the Olympics or what it was, but she was saying how she felt like because she wins all the time, she thinks she's not being like rated. Is that scored?
Scored? Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That makes
because
sense.
People are now saying, well, she shouldn't be winning all the time, but if you're the best, you're the best, right? Like,
well, I mean, in gymnastics, each routine starts off with a starting score based off of the difficulty of it. I don't know if they also
do they have to submit their routine, what they're doing first?
Okay. Like what they're going to do. I don't know if it's like the routine so much like in terms of floor, but like the different moves or stuff that they're going to be doing.
Tricks,
flips.
We're not sports podcasters if you guys haven't figured that out. Yeah.
Just because I have balls doesn't mean I know how to play with them. That's not true.
But yeah, so we definitely wanted to touch on
what was your initial reaction?
My initial reaction was probably a bit of confusion. Like, for me, I thought like I've played high level, not like Olympics or like national level, but like rep, provincial. Like I've played high level sports my whole life,
right?
And like the pressure for me kind of comes with it, you know, like it's part of it. So like I was a little bit confused that, and maybe it was because I haven't been following too much of Simone Biles leading up to it, like not realizing the history of mental health stuff that she has going on. But like, to me, like, the pressure and the anxiety that comes with sports is part of it.
Yeah.
So I was a little bit confused why she was pulling herself, but I also know how big of balls that takes, like, to put it
I
nicely.
agree.
Like,
I
you know,
agree.
so
Yeah. My initial reaction was like, are you fucking kidding me?
like,
Probably like most people. But it wasn't in the sense that she pulled herself. It was in the sense that she should have pulled herself before the competition started.
right. Yeah, fair.
Like, let's be honest, like you know how you feel, not 100%, but a majority
But
walking
you
into
know
a
what?
situation.
So something like that for me, and like knowing how good Simone Biles is, her not at her best may still have been good enough to take it. You know what I
True.
mean? So maybe it's, I'll give it a shot. I know I'm not at my peak here.
Like, well, it wasn't so much in the sense of hurting the team. She was afraid of hurting herself physically. Like, the mental aspect of not being 100% focused and being there.
Right.
And I mean, the same could be, I mean, the same could be said for being at work and doing certain tasks. Like, you can't, like, yeah, okay, if you're just pulling wire all day or you're just putting outlets in all day, like, granted, you don't have to be like fucking laser focused. But with some of the stuff we do,
especially with us as being electricians, we need to have that focus.
Yeah, you need to have that like finger in your ass fucking focus to just be like, I might die if I do something wrong,
right?
Or if I find
wrong. Like, even just working on ladders, like having that focus is important, like depending how high you're working, but like 8, 10, 12 foot ladders, like you want to be focused on what you're doing, no matter what trade
do you ever walk on the ladder?
Officially, no.
Just, I need to get to the next spot. I don't feel like getting down.
We definitely have never raced like that.
I have never won 3 times in a row.
Not even one time.
not even once. 60%
not even 3 times.
Yep. No, but like the mental aspect, I think, has over the years become more prevalent. I mean, you have most major sports teams, at least here in the States, like they have a staff or like a staffed position for a sports psychologist.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, they were talking something, I forget the term that they were using, but maybe it was the yips.
Okay.
Or something. They were using a certain term to describe the situation that Simone Biles was in. Like she was psyched out or psyched herself out, or, you know, it's like when you, like, for example, with like baseball, when you get up to the plate so many times and, you know, you keep missing the ball and you perpetually keep doing that because you're psyching yourself out.
You just get in your own head, right?
Same thing in soccer.
Yeah. Well, you know? The game before we played you guys, before Canada women played the US, we played Brazil, and the game was decided in penalty shots right at the very end. So we went through overtime and everything. And our captain, who is absolutely incredible, she is one of the most phenomenal athletes I've ever had the pleasure of watching on the soccer field. And her name's Christine Sinclair, and she was taking the first shot and she had her penalty shot saved. And everybody else on Canada scored. And then at the end of that game, Steph Labbe, the goalie for Canada, ended up saving 2 penalty shots and they went through. But like, I don't know if it was she got in her own head. I don't know if it was like the pressure again, because they knew pretty much they'd be going through to play against the US in the quarters, and like that's a lot of pressure right there. So Canada came out of a 20-year streak of not beating the US with that win.
You can have this one.
Like having the pressure, I mean, of knowing that that's what you're going into, like I can't even imagine.
I still think the greatest all-time upset in Olympic sports was I believe it was the 1980 Lake Placid Games, where the U.S. men's hockey team beat Russia, and Russia hadn't been beaten in like 30 years. There's a movie about it called Miracle on Ice.
Oh, I've heard of the movie. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Great movie. I don't know anything else, but I love the movie. I love a good sports movie.
Yeah, this is kind of how we function, just half facts and opinions.
I cry more at the end of sports movies than anything else. Like I'll tear up.
They just try so hard.
I mean, fucking Rudy.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Like I'm getting emotional just thinking about it.
And come hug Evan.
She's downstairs therapizing other people.
Okay. We'll get you in line. It'll be fine.
But yeah, yeah. I mean, mental health is a struggle.
Yeah.
For everyone.
No matter what you're doing, really, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason I'm outside today.
Yeah, fair. I know one thing that helps me with my mental health is like staying organized and having like my life figured out.
Having your life figured out. Well, if having my life figured out directly correlated to my state of mind, I would be fucked.
Like, don't get me wrong. Like my baseline is pretty much organized chaos, but the key is organized. Nobody else knows where anything is, but I know where it is.
Yeah, I'm the same way. But lately, especially with like, I built the desk. I was having to move things. Which is
beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. I'm 90% happy with it. The drawer, there's a little 10%. There's a little like, okay, so I built the frame for the drawer, then I built the drawer to size, and the frame somehow was like 1/8 to 1/4 of an inch too big. And I already had one side completely screwed in and glued.
Of course. So
the only thing to do is to take off the other side and take the whole thing, one side back and bottom, and just take it onto the table saw.
Right.
And then my pocket holes weren't. So that's a whole thing. But really what it was is I made a faceplate for the drawer.
Right. And that matched the top, right?
That matched the sides and the top, yeah.
Yeah.
And on the right-hand side, there's like a cunt hair of opening. No! And the other side's touching. And like it's maybe a little, but
and that's one of the things that I'm sure Em doesn't notice. I'm sure it's something
she couldn't care less. She's like, I have a desk with a drawer. This is amazing. And I'm like, it looks like shit. Let's burn it.
I'm starting over.
No.
Wait,
okay, IKEA.
So why are you outside today? Not that I'm loving the view behind you.
2 reasons. It's a gorgeous day out. Mm-hmm. It's a little warm today. It's actually been nice and cool.
It's pretty hot here. Yeah.
It's been like in the 70s the last 2 days, and in the mornings it's been nice and cool. So it's like fall temperature.
Okay.
Time to poop.
Oh, I like fall.
It's been like fall.
We've been watering the grass because it's so hot.
Oh, really?
That was to turn
I finally mowed my grass since that tree fell like a month ago. I finally cut it today. But I wanted to come outside because it was nice, and B, like I said, because I've been back and forth between the deck and that small room that I do the podcast in and has all my tools and stuff. It just got to be overly chaotic. Like,
right.
And I don't have the energy to do anything about it right now.
Yeah.
So I said, let's go out on the deck.
Yeah. I'm here for that. I'm glad that you're able to make that work. Like if I was outside, I would just be
I'm in the shade.
Miserable. Yeah.
I was originally in the sun, which is like right here, as you can see.
Oof, yeah.
No sun, no sun. For those of you who are listening, I'm waving my hand back and forth. But I'm just, I don't know. I'm struggling mentally a little bit with the test I have to take for the home inspection thing, and then
is this your big final test?
Well, yeah, the test, if you pass it, then you can apply to the state to get licensed.
Okay.
I printed out the paperwork for the state because I have to have the guy who I'm shadowing sign off on each inspection. And I don't know if I've talked about it here on the before, but like I don't have the cleanest of pasts in terms of legal. Mm-hmm. Part of the reason I got into the trades because they didn't give a shit.
Right.
I mean, I couldn't get a job at Ruby Tuesdays or like Applebee's, like bussing tables, but I could get a job in the trades. So I was like, right. Okay. So that stuff is like almost 15 years ago, but it still asks it on the, license application form for the state.
Yeah.
And obviously I'm not going to lie because it's the state. It's not like they're just doing a background check like a company where that stuff probably wouldn't show up now.
Yeah.
So like I have to write like a letter and explain it all with the application. And like, it's again going back to the having no control over things. Like
Right.
it's terrifying. So I've been, I'm just trying not to let myself sit in that too much, especially because I haven't even taken the test yet.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
I'm putting the cart.
Yeah.
I'm putting the cart in front of 2 or 3 horses.
Like 4 carts and like all the
Yeah.
sets of horses that go with them. And
Yep. Sawhorses, regular horses, horsepower, you name it.
Yeah.
So right now, because my mental state feels a little scattered,
Yeah.
my
I believe
surroundings
the
gets a little
technical term is
fagooey.
Mm.
Fagooey. So, my dad always said to me, and I fucking hate when he says this, or hated when he said this when I was a kid, but like your living space, or at the time, like your room directly reflects your mental state.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
if you clean your room, you're going to help your mental state. And to
You're
which
like,
I replied, you don't know what you're talking about.
Don't tell me how to live my life. You're not my
yeah.
real dad. Maybe not that one.
I think he is.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm 99% sure he's my dad. Because he finds all the same things funny that I find funny, like the really fucked up stuff and like the fart jokes. Thank God for TikTok. But yeah, I mean, I know eventually I'm going to have to clean that room up, and I know when I do, it's going to make me feel better.
Just getting to that point of actually doing it.
It's getting to that point. Yeah. It's how much discomfort am I willing to feel? Am I willing to deal with until I do something about it?
Yep, absolutely. I get that. I totally get that.
Trying to stay grateful.
So, speaking of improving your living space and such, we have been working on our kitchen, which
you guys aren't done yet?
No, it is going very slowly. Yeah, it's
how many
amazing.
times when you tell people you're an electrician, they're like, oh, your house must be nope.
No. No.
Why do what I do at work, and then why would I want to come home and do it?
It's the last thing I want to do when I get home, right?
Yeah.
So, and like a lot of people don't really understand that. I'm like, yeah, it's my like primary. I make food here, and like I need food to survive. But I'm like, I don't want to be coming in and putting in pot lights above my sink. I don't want to be coming in like right now and be tiling my backsplash. Like those are very far down the list of things that I want to do.
Fuck you, Mr. Backsplash.
Like, and we like picked cool tile. It's gonna look great when I finally start, right? Like, and they're not small, so like they're probably like I think like maybe 6 inches by 8 inches, like hexagon. So like they'll look cool. They'll probably go up reasonably quickly. It's just
are they on
a
mat?
No.
Are they individuals?
They're individuals.
That sounds like so much fun.
I actually don't mind tiling generally.
I've never done it.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I'm currently in a situation. I do. I'm currently in a barter agreement with my friend who's a tiler.
Oh, okay.
Him and his girlfriend, who I've known both of them forever. They're like individually they're like 2 of my best friends, and then together stuff. But they bought an old house. Right. And like I said, he's a tile guy and he owns his own company. And initially he was bartering with another electrician who he works with because he didn't like want to bother me. He's a very thoughtful person, and I really appreciate not wanting to bother me. Because
we're coming back to that one because I have words to say about not wanting to bother somebody, but
yes. Continue. You mean you're gonna stop bothering me so much?
No, never.
Okay.
Don't get your hopes up.
But me and Em went over there. Oh no, they came over here like 2 weekends ago.
In a social capacity?
Social capacity. Yep. Mm-hmm. We went down to the lake. We played some volleyball, barbecued, and they were telling me like what's going on with the house, how the electrician has kind of fallen off. He had a baby, and he's just not really like getting shit done. Mm-hmm. And mind you, he cut all of the new work like hi-hat He's doing the 2-piece part, so it's not one solid piece. It's you put the plates in and then you push an old work hi-hat through it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So it's like a plate the width of your joists, right?
Okay.
It's like
Are
a
we
metal
talking
plate.
lights? Are we talking
Lighting,
okay.
pot lights,
Okay.
hi-hats, pot lights, recess lights.
Okay. Yeah.
So they're the width of the joist and about yay deep,
Like
whatever.
pressure fit kind of situation?
Not pressure fit, but they're what they allow you to do is they allow you to go and push the can in after. And that way when the sheetrockers come, they can just roto zip, just zip it. Problem is the guy didn't freaking screw a single one of them in. So when the guys did the sheetrock and they went to
it just pushed it right up.
It went vroom. So I said to him, so I'm getting out of myself. So the guy just left things in an unfinished state. He also had the wires jumped out for the recess lights in the kitchen, but he stripped them and spliced them through.
Okay.
So they're telling me about all this stuff, and then they leave, and later on the night I call Sarah, who's my friend Paul, the tile guy's girlfriend, partner, and I'm like, hey, I'm coming by tomorrow night. This was on Sunday, so I'm coming by tomorrow night, and we're going to put a checklist together of everything you need to get done electrically. And we're going to start doing that because they bought the house in February.
Ooh,
and they're still not living. Time. They're still not living in it because they're doing so much construction.
Are they paying rent or are they in
no
mom's basement?
No, they're both living with their folks.
Still, you want to be in the place.
Yeah, exactly. So so I went over and went through everything, and I went there last weekend, and now I'm going there again on Saturday to do some more work. But the guy didn't put a bar box in for the vanity light.
Oh,
he didn't put a can he didn't put a can in where he put everywhere else in the house over the shower. So I'm having to use my tone generator and try to find on the wall where the wire is, and then poke a hole and use my little scope camera to see if I can see in it. And luckily I found everything.
Right.
Same thing with the microwave. He just left a wire there. But we're bartering. So I'm gonna help them with all of this, and then he's gonna help.
A new bathroom,
new shower and tub and whole tile and everything. Because right now it's like a 3-piece plastic hospital
insert or whatever.
Insert here situation.
That's great. You know what? That is one of the best things about being in the trade. The fact that you can do that bartering stuff, that you have something to contribute, that it's not always just about the money changing hands, right? You're not paying somebody else to do it.
Exactly.
It's trading services.
And it's also fun because I'm really close with them. We're really good friends. So I basically hung out with them for 6 hours on Sunday.
Yeah.
And Em couldn't get mad because I'm basically paying for the labor for
I'm working.
I'm working.
Yeah. So back to that, I don't want to
don't bother me. Yeah.
Right. So the only thing that we outsourced for our kitchen was our plumbing, which if it had been a little simpler. So basically what we did in our kitchen was we have our kitchen fully set up when we bought the place on the left side of our kitchen walking in.
Right.
So we flipped it and put everything over onto the far right side. And our kitchen's reasonably, it's the width of the house. So it wasn't just
so
moving.
1.5, 2.5 jail cells.
Yeah, I'd say thereabouts.
Okay.
And so basically we were thinking about the venting. We got a dishwasher, so that was a new line that needed to be run. We were debating between copper and I think it's called Warsboro, which is the plastic PEX stuff. I think it's a harder density PEX basically, plastic water lines. And so we were debating on that and back and forth, and we needed a new shutoff, and it turned into a bigger job than we thought we could handle. We knew it wasn't going to be super easy, but it was a bigger job than we could do ourselves.
Right. Gotcha.
So we ended up, same thing, getting a buddy of Adam's who he went to high school with, who is now, he just took his final test the other day, and he came in and he did the plumbing work for us. And this guy is such a great guy. He did amazing work. And I hope one day, like, he's got a lot of electrician friends, but I'm sure like between whatever, like,
yeah.
But yeah, he did a really great job. And the only thing was I didn't have his phone number because he's Adam's friend.
Right.
And I was like, well, Adam, when's the plumber coming? He's like, well, he said he'd text me by the end of the weekend. Right. So Monday rolls around.
That's the issue. Like, yep.
Adam, you need to text him. Adam, you need to text him because he said end of the weekend, like, if he forgot, you're not bothering him. Like, it's not like you're texting him every day.
Right.
And the nice thing about having a text with somebody,
guys don't like to bother other guys.
But the way I figure it is, a phone call is a bother. A text, you can read it and respond at your convenience. That's not a bother to me.
That's true.
So that was something that Adam and I eventually had a meltdown.
Don't worry. So half the tree that was hanging.
Yeah.
I talked to our neighbor.
Yeah.
He said, listen, we're moving in 2 weeks. It's going to be taken care of before we move because we can't close on the house with the tree hanging like that. Great. Not a problem.
Yeah.
He goes, I'm already on the phone with people, having someone come out, do an estimate. It'll probably be done like the next week or so. Mm-hmm. Okay, great. I don't think about it again because the guy told me it's going to get taken care of.
Yeah.
Saturday rolls around and Em's like, or Friday rolls around and she's like, you need to text the guy.
Like Friday before they're leaving kind of thing?
No, like the weekend between the 2 weeks. She's like, you need to text them. And I was like, nah. I'm like, oh, maybe. I'll think about it. And then Saturday rolls around. I need you to text the guy. I'm like, and then Sunday rolls around. I need you to text the guy. And I'm like, I'm not going to text the guy. Like, he said he's going to take care of it. I don't want to be. He's like in the middle of moving. He's in the middle of all this stuff. Like, I don't want to bother him. Like, even though he's moving, I also don't want to just like seem like that guy is like, get me my stuff. You got to get my stuff now. Like,
my stuff's more important. Yeah.
Right. So I finally Sunday, she pushes and she pushes and she pushes. And I text him after I say, I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
I was like, I hope you're happy. And he texts me back, oh yeah, but I was just about to text you. They're coming tomorrow afternoon. I'm like,
but I also find that there's certain ways that you can go about a text like that.
Yeah, I mean, I was very casual, cordial about it. I was like, hey, bud, just wanted to reach out and say, hey, wanted to see if you had an idea so that way I can move the cars out of the driveway so they could get in and use our driveway and this, that, and the other thing. And the whole time I'm texting this, I'm like, I'm such a wiener.
I hate everything. Yeah.
Yes.
And like, I get that. And so with the plumber that we had is we hadn't spoken to him for the week leading up because he was writing his big test on the Thursday. Right. And so he had told us the previous weekend that he was writing his test on Thursday. He would talk to us by the end of the week. I was like, okay, you had a lot of big things going on. I don't blame you if we are the last things on your mind right now.
Right.
But we're also paying this person. We're not doing trading for services.
Right.
So to me, that becomes a verbal contract and we're not bothering him. I want my work done. You know? Like, especially because I'm living in like disjointed kitchen. I have my countertops in now and they're beautiful, but we've started ripping out the countertops on my functional side because he needed access to move stuff. And so we were ready. We had a wall framed out and we'd started ripping out counters. So now my sink is on the complete, this sounds like such a first world problem, but my sink is on the complete opposite side of where
I have to walk 4 feet from this counter to the sink. Back again.
I don't. Yeah.
I'm just I should just kill myself.
I'll just see myself out. But so I just said to Adam, I was like, listen, like.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Because when it comes to your house, when you're living in it, especially, it's like you don't have the luxury of like waiting too long to do certain things. Because it makes life, comes back to the mental health part of it. It makes life more cumbersome.
Well, and even just me knowing, like, all I wanted was a date when he thought he was coming. Like, I don't care if you say it's going to be tomorrow. I just want to be ready for it. If you say it's next week, that's fine. I just need to know. I don't want you surprising me being like, oh, I'm going to come by after work today. I'm like, no.
And you're sitting there eating bonbons in your
I'm eating Cheetos with my, like, well, exactly.
With your what?
With my chopsticks.
It
doesn't make your it doesn't make your fingers get orange. So eat them with chopsticks.
I'm sorry. Hold on. First of all, fuck you. Second of all, the best part of eating Cheetos is licking your fingers afterwards and then going to your cat so they can lick the rest of it off.
You're disgusting. No, I will stick to my chopstick Cheetos.
M's cat, the Beelzebub, the overweight monster under the bed, she loves cheddar cheese flavored popcorn.
Can you blame her?
And she will literally, it's the only thing she likes human food wise.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Sadie will eat almost anything, cry for it. But Belly, no, couldn't be bothered except when, and you can open a bag of chips, nothing. Bag of pretzels, bag of Cheetos, nothing. You open the bag of popcorn, somehow she fucking knows, like from downstairs across the house. And next thing you know, you just got this little tiny face with a huge body behind it, just like staring at you, like looking at the bag, looking at you, looking at the bag, looking at you. And you're just like, can I fucking help you?
Yeah, that's my Joni with ice cream. She loves her ice cream.
Ooh, not a big ice cream fan, but I'm a big sorbet fan.
Oh yeah, I like the rainbow.
I do. No, I'm not a child. So I do raspberry sorbet by a company. I don't know if they have it up at you, called Talenti's. They come in like little pint size. They make ice cream too, but they come in pint size clear jars.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that at my grocery store.
Shit will fuck you up. And the problem is it's so good, and I just sit there shaving it off. I'll eat the entire thing. Oh yeah, it's like $10 a pint.
Oh my god.
And I'll eat the entire thing in one sitting, and it's heavier than ice cream. So then I just sit there, I'm like,
hey, look, now I'm Belly.
Yes, I'm sitting there, I'm like, Misa thinka, you are fucked up. So on the Job at the Hut note, you want to give everyone your tip?
No, I want you to go first.
I have no clue what my tip is.
Okay. Okay, let's take a branch out of Simone Biles' book and or a leaf out of her book and take care of your mental health. Talk to somebody if you need it. Put yourself first. Text the person even if you think you're being a bother.
Yeah.
Reach out. Drink water.
Reach out and touch me. I just got that song stuck in my head. My just the tip. Don't promise your wife you'll make something for her that you don't know how to do. No.
I love honestly, how specific your tips are.
Yes. Very poignant.
Yeah.
No, I guess my tip would be try new things. Push yourself.
That's a good one.
Like the whole desk project, really, at the end of it, I got a little emotional because I was like, I never thought I would ever be able to do something like this. Like this wasn't even. Who knows, Ev?
If you start doing your home inspection stuff, you might have to build yourself a desk.
No, I'll buy one. But I have come up with my next 2 projects. Neither of them involving drawers.
Drawers can go fuck themselves.
Yes, fuck a drawer. I'm gonna do a dining room table.
Nice.
Like farmhouse style.
Very nice.
And then
don't say the chairs.
No.
Okay, good. I was like, that sounds like a bad idea.
People can stand and eat. They do it in prison.
Make it like chest height, so it's like
yeah. And
your
then
chest.
My chest.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 neighbors who are getting married in October who we've starting to become good friends with. And it's nice to have people local.
Yeah.
So we were talking about cornhole. You know what cornhole is, right?
Sure.
Beanbag game.
Yep.
Or the prison game, whichever one.
Very different game.
Very different game, yes.
Yeah.
Equal amount of screaming though. Either way.
And equal amounts of fun.
Yes. For one. Or 2. Or a gaggle of guys. Who knows? Or girls. But I'm gonna make them custom cornhole boards.
Oh, that's fun. Do they know about it?
He does. I mean, they know that like I'm gonna make them, but they don't know what they're gonna look like. So I've been researching things. I got a pretty fun idea.
Is it like for them to have at the wedding, or is it
for both? Then they can take them up to the wedding because they're having it in upstate New York. in like the
Nice.
fall.
That would be
So
lovely.
and then they can bring it home with them and I don't know, put it on the fire. Who cares?
Maybe have you and Em over to play.
Yeah. Do you know how much cornhole boards
They're
cost?
not cheap.
And you go on like Etsy if you want to get like them even remotely, like you just want to get one letter put on them.
Yeah.
Charge another $200. If these come out well, I might just open a fucking Etsy store for cornhole.
Yeah. That would not be a terrible idea. Like
I'm gonna call it cornhole.
They can't be that hard to make.
They're like really not.
It's a wooden triangle.
No triangle.
Don't you have to prop it up somehow?
Oh, I thought you meant like the shape. It's a rectangle with two legs and a hole and a 6-inch hole in the middle.
It's like cheese.
It's like a wedge of cheese.
Yes.
A wedge.
Which is both triangular and rectangular.
It's thick. Speaking of thick, how about a quickie?
Yeah, let's do it. You want to go first or you want me to?
No, you go first because
okay.
I think I have two, but the third one I have to come up with.
All right, Evan, what's your favorite board game?
Ooh, board game or card game?
Both. Give me both.
Board game is Monopoly because I'm a fucking asshole when I play it.
Yeah, I know
and card game is Cards Against Humanity.
Okay, I would have put Cards Against Humanity. Like I think of card game as like euchre.
Oh, okay. But so Cards Against Humanity is a board game. Mm-hmm. The card game is a toss-up. It's either spades or gin rummy.
Okay, I like euchre. Euchre is probably my favorite card game.
I played rummy. Go ahead. Shoots and ladders.
No, not anymore. We played a game and it was a word game and I cannot for the life of me remember what it's called now. Come back to me. It'll come back to me.
Okay. I played gin rummy with M when we were dating.
Yeah.
We made like a cheese board and we were laying in bed watching a movie. And I was like, oh, let's play rummy. And she's like, what's that? And then I showed her how to play. And apparently she had played like ages ago.
Long time ago. Yeah.
That's a word she uses, ages ago. That's why I'm using it. Yeah. And like, we were playing rummy 500 technically. So you can put pairs down as you go to gather points. But I was putting like books down, 2 of a kind or 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, straight 3, straight 4. And she had all these cards in her hand. And I'm racking up points left and right. And then she would just go, gin. Do you know the last time we played gin rummy, what happened?
That time?
We almost broke up. So there's that. Okay.
Fair.
First question.
Okay.
You want the easy question or the hard question?
Surprise me.
Okay. Let me think. I'm going to make up this one off the top of my head.
Okay.
What's a smell that reminds you of your childhood?
Ooh, fresh cut grass. My dad was really big on, like, he takes a lot of care with his lawn. And actually, yeah, basically. And just when I smell that, like, especially after it's like rained, I'm like, oh, like take me. And like my house growing up, my parents still live there. That's where Adam and I got married. Like, right. And I was actually, when I lived there with my parents, I was 4th generation living in that house. Like, there's like a lot of memories in that house. So like that's a big one. Your parents, one of their parents. My mom's parents. And then, so my parents bought it from my grandpa. And when my grandpa was there, he came over with the war and he brought his mother as well. So she was in the house while my mom was growing up. So that's 3 generations. Oh, so your grandmother is the 1st generation, technically. My great grandmother was there. And then, so her son owned the house, who was my grandfather. So your grandfather and your father. So it wasn't owned by 3 generations. No, it was owned by 2, but we had 4 generations living there. So when you guys take over the house. I've thought about it. I would love that. But it's kind of like 3 generations of Deweys who have all banged under one roof. Yep. Okay. All right. What's yours? For me, it would be the smell of... or Christmas cookies. Sorry. Or Christmas. Okay. Yeah. It would be... It's going to sound really weird, but it's
there's this area of New York City called the Meat Market where all the slaughterhouses used to be. And my dad used to work for a food distribution company, and that was based out of there. And I used to go in with him any day I had off of school or any day I got suspended, or like Saturday mornings. Mm-hmm. So the dirty smell of New York City will always take me back to my childhood, because I spent countless hours driving around New York with my dad, and it was all in that area.
That's funny you say that. So my parents' house, the house I was just talking about, right up the street from there is a store called Central Meat Market. And it was like it was where we got all our groceries, and it was like I don't even know if it was like mom and pop, but it's like definitely not a chain, so must have been. But yeah,
somebody's mom or somebody's pa.
Yeah,
mom and pa. All right, question 2.
Question 2. Okay, if coffee were illegal, what would its street name be?
Instapoo.
All right. I don't know if you'd have many people buying that.
I don't know. Or
Brown Death is what I'm thinking.
There's a heroine called Brown Death.
You know what? You know what's funny is I was thinking when I was like writing this out, I was like, I bet you whatever name I come up with for this, that Evan will know like there's a drug by this actual name.
I mean, you could just call it like, yo. You need that Java? I got that Java. You want that Java? I got that Java, son.
But all right, I'm here for it.
All right, question 2.
Okay.
What's the only food that both your mouth and your butthole can taste?
I don't know.
Chili.
Ew.
Because you eat chili and you're like, that's chili. And then the next day, your butthole's like, oh my God, is that chili? That was
gross.
A little dad joke for you.
Okay, are you ready? Evan,
Ready,
do you have a signature dance move?
Oh, do I have a signature dance move? Oh.
Mine's the Running Man, and it's not
I
great.
do a mean Running Man.
Yeah, I bet, because you're like all arms and legs.
Yeah. It would probably be, what's that song? It's like, bah, 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 bah,
jump on it.
Jump on it. Jump on. Yeah, probably that.
Oh my God, that song just reminded me of camp.
Yeah, if I'm seriously uncomfortable and like people are like dance, and I'm like, no, and they're like, come on, dance, and I'll just do this. They're like, no, seriously, dance. I'm like, okay, fine.
I am.
All right, last question. Are you ready?
Yeah.
If you had to brutally murder one Disney character, who would it be and why?
Can it be a bad guy?
One Disney character.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna say from Hunchback of Notre Dame, the bad guy.
Okay.
He was talking about like full genocide of the Romani people. So he's my first pick.
Okay.
What do you got?
I'd kill Bambi's dad. No.
You sick fuck.
I don't know. I really don't know.
All right, you think about it.
Maybe Donald Duck.
Why?
He's Disney, right?
That's what I was originally thinking, but I'm not sure.
Because Daffy Duck is the Looney Tunes.
Right. No, right. I think you're right.
Honestly, I'd probably end up brutally murdering the teacup from Cinderella or from Beauty and the Beast accidentally, because I just drop shit all the time.
No. Chip?
Yeah, and then I'd just like stand over it, and I'd have that moment where I'm like, am I going to be remorseful? And then, let's be honest, I'd just be like, you know why? Because then you'd have to change his name. Smashed. On another note, totally unrelated, we want to thank everyone who has listened thus far, 27 episodes deep. We are going to spoil us mercilessly. We are going to be taking a small break for the rest of August, just to kind of give ourselves a little bit of a break, a rest. I know it doesn't seem like we put too much effort into this.
Evan puts in far more effort than you guys realize.
I just want like at least 2 or 3 weeks where I don't have to sit there screaming at my computer.
Yeah. Or waiting for me to come on because I'm late.
Yes, that too. But we will be back the first week of September with a new guest.
Episode 28.
Episode 28 or season 2, episode 1.
Ooh,
we haven't decided.
I don't hate that.
Who knows?
We should talk about that off the air.
Yeah. Hey, if you listen this far into the episode, let us know. Should it be episode 28 or season 2, episode 1? Up to you guys.
Give us some feedback.
But yeah, we just need to, time for a vacation.
Yeah.
If you don't like that, fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. Please come back. But no, we're just gonna take a little break, kind of give ourselves recharge the old batteries, and get some things together and in order and in line. Some new guests, and we'll be back first week of September. So thank you guys so much. Seriously, I'm getting attacked by bugs now.
You guys are the best. Thank you so much for staying with us.
Yeah,
or recently joining us, whichever it may be.
All 3 of you.
Yeah, all 3 of you.
And yeah, stay tuned. We're definitely gonna be putting out some stuff come September. And if you have any ideas or people you would like to see as guests on Delta Sparks Pod, episode 28 or season 2, episode 1, let us know.
Please do.
All right, and on that note,
it's been a slice.
Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Bye.
Bye.